Hi. So I've been thinking doing some projects using an ESP32 controller, which needs a keyboard and a little screen and so on. And in my search last year, I came across this LILYGO T-Deck, and I purchased it, but I've been so busy that I haven't had a chance to really look at it properly until now. So this device actually is kind of interesting because it has some unique features. Now this is the website for LILYGO, and that is where the T-Deck is located. Of course, anything that you'll see here, I'll put some links in the description and so on. And it is actually available with a radio, LoRa radio as well, but I got the cheapest one, which does not have that, because the project I'm thinking of didn't need the radio. And as you can see, they seem to have different keyboards, and there is, because it's got a ESP32 S3 on there, it has Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5, and it works with Arduino, Platform IO, MicroPython. It has 16 megabytes of flash RAM, 8 megabytes of PS RAM, and it has a battery connector, and they've got one of the GPIO pins, pin number 4, connected to the battery voltage, so that you can actually measure the voltage, so you can know when the battery is going flat and all that kind of stuff. It has a little trackball, a microphone, and a speaker, as well as a keyboard, of course. And it has a ST7789 LCD, 320 by 240, and it is actually a touch screen as well. So when you purchase it, you actually get this, and it does not have a case. It is kind of just a bare board with the front, with the screen and the trackball and the keyboard, which means that you really have to get a case for it. And we'll have a look in that in a minute. I 3D printed one from Thingiverse. And here is an image, and let's enlarge that a little bit. So the features that it has, and this little image, actually I printed it out on a piece of paper as well for my reference. It has all the information on there that you actually need to program it, which is kind of neat. But as you can see from here, it has various interfaces and devices built in. This is a TF card reader, SD card reader, and the information how to access it is there. And it has a ESP32 S3 microcontroller. There's a Grove connector here, which is connected to GPIO 44, 43, and it has VCC and ground on it. VCC being 3.3 volts, of course. And it has two microphones, microphone 1 and 2, left and right. And what's unique about it is that the ESP32 does have an analog to digital controller, which you would normally use to connect the microphone to, but it is rather limited. I think it has 12-bit resolution, but nevertheless it is not ideal for audio. And what they've done is they put a chip on here, which is specifically an audio analog to digital converter. It can actually handle up to 4 microphones, but they've just connected the 2 to it. And that is going to be an interesting thing to try out, which we should be able to capture good quality sound. It does have a little speaker as well, which is connected to that socket, but of course there's nothing to stop you from unplugging that and plugging an external speaker in as well, if you were that way inclined, but we won't be doing that. And it has actually a little coprocessor on there, which is also an ESP32C3. And I understand that that is connected to the keyboard and perhaps a few other things as well. So that's interesting design as well. And it has a battery connector, and indeed I connected a little battery to it. It will end up charging it and so on, and it can run off the battery. And it does have an option there to have this LoRa module radio, which I do not have. And of course it's got the screen. This is actually a touch screen. This is touch GPIO 16, 320 by 240. And this little trackball over here, has a couple of GPIO pins connected to it, but it also doubles as a boot button. So when you press it down, when you turn it on, you can put it in boot mode with it. And that's of course is the little keyboard. So I thought this was kind of neat. We're going to have a look at it. But as I said, the device really needs a little case, and I found a case on Thingiverse, Thing2628750 and you can download the files here and print it on a 3D printer, which is what I have actually done. As I said, links will be in the description, so you will be able to get access to that as well. So this is the GitHub site that LILYGO provides for the T-Deck. Everything is there. It has a data sheet. It has some a schematic for it, and so this is really nice. They have done a good job to provide all the information we need at a convenient place. But the first thing we need, of course, you will download this thing as a zip file and stick it on your computer somewhere. But in this folder here, boards, there is a custom board file and the platform.io ini file. Those two we will need with platform.io ini, or today I'm actually using a PIO Arduino, which is a fork of platform.io ini. But we'll need those two files in order to get started. It's nice that they have provided those, because you don't have to search for or modify, make your own board file for it and so on. So let's have a look what we've got there. Okay, so I have created a small blink file over here, nothing much to it. We're using that RX pin, which remember is on that Grove connector, and we just give it a delay, and we're using the RX pin output as output, and that is all that it is. But what is notable is that, as I said, there is a T-Deck JSON file there, which is actually a board file. Now, how that works in platform.io based systems is that you can actually add a folder called boards to your project, and if it finds that, it will look in there first for the actual board file. And this is the board file here. As you can see, it's just most of it is standard ESP32S3, but it tells it that it has some 16 megabytes of flash and stuff like that, so it's all set correctly for it. And this, I didn't edit this. This came straight from LILYGO, so good for them. The platform.io ini file 2, that's the one I showed you in the GitHub site. I got that here. The only thing I did was I commented out one of these. It says if you're using the examples, you can uncomment it, but we're not using that right now, so I commented that one line out, and the rest I've left alone. Now, it's interesting when you look at the device, it has a T keyboard, which is actually run by the ESP32C3, as I said, and that must be, they must have a module like that somewhere as well. I'm not quite sure, but we don't have to have that on because it's part of the T-Deck, which goes further than the T keyboard. So that's this is active and not commented out. So it's T-Deck. As I said, I didn't even change that. All I did was comment out this line here, and the rest is all what they put in it. Now these things over here, when it says -D, that is actually how you can define, override, you know, from the code, you can override these variables. So I haven't even looked at these closely, but that is what's there. Anyway, they provided the platform.io file, so that was good. Now, the only thing that we have here, as I said, is that code here. We can have a look if it compiles. Okay, everything worked. So the files that they provided are active. This is our little blink sketch. So let's have a look at that. So here it is, and we've got I have a little module here, which is a Grove module with an LED on it, and it has a little, you can adjust the brightness on it. This came with the kit. I evaluated that in some of my other videos. I got a bunch of these little Grove connectors devices, and it is plugged into that little Grove socket that is on there. Now I should be able to turn it on. There's a little switch on this side. Yeah, there it goes. And sure enough, as you can see, the blink sketch is working. So that is all we're going to do for now. This is just an intro on what it is all about and how to get started. And next we're going to get the screen working, including the touch, hopefully. And step by step we're going to introduce code to make all these bits and pieces working, and then we can, at the end, we can see what we can do with that when it's fully functional. There's also a thing called LVGL or something like that, in which you can design pretty graphical user interfaces. We will be looking at that in one of the videos also. So that's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and especially hit that little bell thing if you want to see the follow-up videos from that are coming up for this device. And do keep in mind too that some of the experiments and codes that we'll be doing will work on other devices as well, not just on the LILYGO T-Deck device here. For instance, the same company, they make these little things as well. TTGo, it also has a little display on there, and I would think that the same code that works on here will work on there as well, although I'm not sure if this is probably not a touch screen, but the display code would be similar. So some of the things we'll be doing might well be able to carry through to other devices, other ESP32. You can plug your own keyboard in or whatever if you can find one that is compatible. Anyway, that is all we got for now, and I'll see you in the next episode.